is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope you guys are having a great day so far, living positively, enjoying life. Go ahead and spread that positivity by smashing the like button. Do not forget to subscribe. We are close to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you for you guys' continued support. Now, together, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, I did post a short about it the other day, but got to talk about the fact that the Miami Heat did blow out the Washington Wizards 118-98. You get a fantastic game from Bam Adebayo, 32 points, 14 rebounds. He hits three-point shots, finally breaks that slump. Had not hit a three-point shot the entire season. I don't know if it was a nagging injury. I don't know if it was the change of the offense. I really don't know. But Bam Adebayo was not getting it going. So it's really good to see this. It's really good to see this game. And we really, really hope we get a lot more games like that. Because I did say at the beginning of the season, you guys, that I feel like Bam Adebayo can be a great focal point on the offensive end. But he hasn't really shown it. Now, I mean, I do think that part of that is kind of because, Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, they're taking reins in the offense. You also got Jimmy Butler. You got Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic. Everybody's scoring the ball. So, I guess Bam as the captain is just, letting everybody doing their thing. But, as the captain, max player, you got to be that guy. So I'm glad Bam showed that. Also had a great effort from Alec Burks off the bench. 15 points, 29 minutes. Alec Burks is showing that he could be that guy called upon offensively. You have Jaime Jaquez showing great stuff off the bench. I will say this, you guys. It was a great overall win. Good blowout win. The 3 games that you've won have been against teams that are under 500. The 2 games that you've lost have been to the Orlando Magic, who is a very good team, and then the New York Knicks. So what does that show you? The Heat are kind of on the same level as they were last year. What is that? A team that in the regular season can beat the crap teams, can fight against the winning teams, win some, lose some, basically at 50%. It's mid. 10 games above 500. Hopefully you can scratch out of the play-in, probably a play-in team, unless, we get it together mid-season, which I think we can. I think the Miami Heat can definitely turn it around. 3-2 is a fine start. You could have easily been 4-1 had you won that game against New York and kept that lead. But, it is what it is. You are where you are, which is basically a mid-level team. I'm not saying that's the end result. I'm just saying that's what the Miami Heat are showing. So when you see something like that, and when you see the fact that this team is going together for the last 6 years now, you think maybe a change is needed. Maybe in order to push this team, get them to the level we feel they can be and to possibly contend for a championship, rather than just skewer under mediocrity for the season, make a change. Now, I posted this on my last video, you guys. I talked about Giannis Antetokounmpo, with the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis may part ways during the season. Multiple reports came out saying that. Since then, the Milwaukee Bucks have lost 2 more games, currently sitting at 1-5. This whole Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo experience may not be working, and Milwaukee may just look to pull the trigger. They won a championship in 2021. Maybe for them, they're seeing the writings on the wall. This project with Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, Dame Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, it's not working. So maybe it's time to blow it up and get rid of some pieces. Now, I mentioned in the last video that the Miami Heat have an easy trade to provide Milwaukee for Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can give Jimmy Butler, who's making pretty much the exact same money, possibly tie in a future first-round draft pick, maybe even 2, if you could lift the protection from OKC, and then you can make the trade. Now, a lot of people in the comments, which I completely understand, call that crazy. How the hell? Milwaukee would never do that. They would never make a trade like that. Look at all the other trades. Freaking New York gave up 5 first-round draft picks for Mikal Bridges. Well, that's where we need to pause. The NBA has changed, you guys. Milwaukee is currently operating under the second apron. They are a second apron team. So when you're a second apron team, and I've mentioned this before, and a lot of people in the comments for the previous video were not understanding certain things, so I'm going to explain it again. And please, you guys got to pay attention, because the NBA is not what it used to be. This new collective bargaining agreement, when you're a second apron team making over $183 million for your team salary, you are hampered in a lot of ways. First and foremost, you cannot pick up a mid-level or biannual player in free agency. You only have minimum contracts to give out. Trades become completely hampered, and I'm going to read this word for words. Teams cannot aggregate contracts, send cash, or take back more money than they're sending out. They also cannot trade multiple players in the same deal or sign and trade their own players to acquire others. I'm going to stop it right there. Teams become completely hampered to make trades when they're a second apron team. So why does taking a player like Jimmy Butler work for Milwaukee? Because when you're rebuilding and you're blowing it up, you want a player that's coming with an expired contract. That's Jimmy Butler. I know people were saying, well, if you're going to trade Giannis, trade Bam for them. And I'm sure that's what Milwaukee is going to go with. So if Bam can be traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo to come to this team, I would entertain that idea. Why not? But Milwaukee also has another player, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard has requested to come to the Miami Heat in the past. Damian Lillard, who's currently averaging 26.2 points a game, 6.7 assists, 5 rebounds, 36 minutes a game at 34 years old, is still showing that he's an elite level NBA player, having a much better season with Milwaukee this year than he started last year, who has requested to come to the Miami Heat 2 years ago, wanting to play alongside Bam Adebayo, can be that missing piece next to Bam Adebayo. But here's the problem. If you're interested in trading for a Damian Lillard, that would be cool. But the problem with that is money. Same thing. Damian Lillard, you guys, is making $48.7 million. But this is the other situation that we've dealt with before for trading for a guy like Damian Lillard. He's 34 years old. He has 3 years left in his contract because he was given that max extension by Portland. The final 2 years of his contract, he's making $58 and $63 million when he's 36 and 37 years old. Chances are he will not opt out that final year unless he continues the ball. But now you're taking in that contract. See, Giannis is easier to take because he's 29 years old. So you take the money that he's currently making, and you're okay with that. You can build around that. But this is why I feel the Miami Heat do have a little bit of value. Because if you're talking to Milwaukee and you're open to give up Jimmy Butler, who has an expiring contract, and let's be honest, Jimmy Butler is not having the very best season. And even though, and I'm saying this right now, Heat fans, and I know people are going to go in the comments, some people are going to be like, you're disrespecting Jimmy, you want to get rid of Jimmy. No, I love Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat. But what I'm talking about right now, I'm looking at it from the team's perspective. If you're able to trade Jimmy Butler, get Giannis Antetokounmpo, or possibly even Damian Lillard to pair alongside Bam Adebayo, along with Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, maybe it might work. Now, here's the problem if you're trading for Damian Lillard. You have Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero. Now you may have to change the lineup. Bring Terry Rozier off the bench as your sixth man. Maybe move Jaime. Now you're going to have to move Jaime Jaquez as your starting small forward. Now you'll have a lineup of Bam Adebayo. Maybe bring up Kalal Ware for God's sakes. Move Bam to the 4. Now he can play his rightful position next to Damian Lillard. It can work. But the question and the reality of something like this happening, you guys, and this is the part that I'm going to pin for the people that are in my comments that are saying like, oh, I can't believe you're saying it's going to happen. This is what I'm going to be honest with you guys about. Do I really think this trade's going to happen? Most likely not. I think the Heat are going to keep the current team they have. I think they're going to turn it around. They're going to figure this out. 3-2 starting off in the season is not terrible. I think we're good. But I'm being honest right now. If Milwaukee and Giannis Antetokounmpo come to a term that they're looking for teams to trade, it's already been reported. His preferred destinations are Brooklyn and Miami. How true is that? But there have been mutual interest in the past. We know that Damian Lillard wants to be in Miami. You know that these guys would love to play alongside Bam Adebayo. I think it would work, either player. But honestly, I think the Heat are going to keep the team the way it is, and I think we're still going to be fine. So let me know what you think in the comments, Heat Nation. Would you like to see either Giannis Antetokounmpo or Damian Lillard traded to the Miami Heat? Do you think it's a possibility by trading Jimmy Butler? Because remember, you guys, and I'll say it again, why do the Miami Heat have leverage? Because not a lot of teams can match the salary that Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard are making. When you're a second apron team, you have to match the salaries accordingly. You can't take 2 players, 3 players, and trade it to Milwaukee for Giannis. They're a second apron team. They're limited. You have to take one player who's making the same amount of money as Giannis or Dame. You trade him to that team, and maybe you can tag along some draft picks. That's the only flexibility the Heat don't have, draft pick capital. But you have a player that has an expiring contract. It makes sense for Miami. Not a lot of teams can do that. Now, the teams that can and have more draft capital than Miami, that's going to be difficult. But Miami can provide things in one deal to Milwaukee that I don't think a lot of teams can. A player that has an expiring contract can tack some draft picks onto it, and you got a guy that makes the same amount of money that Giannis and Dame do. It all works. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, you guys. We're pushing to 5,000 subscribers. I need all hands on deck. Thank y'all so much for your continued support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that's enough said. Yeah, buddy. Let's go Heat.